Welcome back to Elevation Perspective. My name is Mark, and tonight we are breaking down the blockbuster trade between the New York Mets and the Texas Rangers. On Sunday evening, the Mets agreed to send outfielder Brandon Nimmo to the Rangers in exchange for second baseman Marcus Semien. There is a lot to unpack here. I think on the Mets side of things, it opens the door for a plethora of potential possibilities. And on the Rangers side of things, they're getting an offensive upgrade and shedding some salary in the short term while taking on more years in the long term. Let's start with Nimmo. First, he was the longest tenured New York Met at the time of the trade. Nimmo was selected in the first round of the 2011 draft. When he signed that 8-year deal in the winter of 2022 with a full no-trade clause, it looked like he was going to be a Met for life. It's important to note, though, the current front office leader of the New York Mets, David Stearns, did not give him that contract, so he did not have any extreme level of attachment to this player. Nimmo was also signed to that 8-year deal with the understanding or the idea of him playing center field for multiple years of that contract before eventually moving to a corner, but with various nagging injuries, Nimmo went from a plus defensive center fielder to a mediocre defender in left field in year 2 of that 8-year agreement. Nimmo is still a very solid bat, though, even with that decline in his defense and speed. In 2025, Nimmo batted .262 with 25 home runs and a .760 OPS. The Texas Rangers may be looking at a pretty significant overhaul here of their roster. 2 pretty rough seasons in a row after winning that World Series in 2023. They have already hired Skip Schumacher to be their new manager and non-tendered 2 staples in their lineup in Adolis Garcia and Jonah Heim. And now, of course, they're moving on from one of their no-question leaders in that clubhouse, Marcus Semien. It is so early to even look at projected lineups right now for either the Rangers or the Mets, with so many more moves to be made throughout the winter, but right now the Rangers' projected lineup looks like Nimmo, Langford, Seager, Peterson, Berger, Carter, Young, Smith, and Higashioka. I think this was mostly a bad money for bad money swap, while both teams were able to address a need. The Rangers did well here, accomplishing an offensive upgrade and shedding $6 million in the short term, with Nimmo set to make $20 million for 5 more seasons and Semien set to make $26 million for 3 more seasons. We spoke about the potential impact for Texas here, but now for the Mets, I believe this is where things could get really interesting. David Stearns preached run prevention at his end of the season press conference when he was asked how to improve this team. Marcus Semien is, of course, not the MVP star bat he once was. He is 35 years old after all. He's on a pretty clear offensive decline, but he's still performing defensively at an elite level. I think it's really easy to picture Francisco Lindor and Marcus Semien up the middle playing lockdown defense and being a massive strength of this Mets team. Semien hit .230 with 15 home runs and a .669 OPS in 2025. Now, taking a look under the hood, there is clear decline, like I said, but he still does things well. His XBA was 15 points higher than his actual batting average, kind of indicating he got a little bit unlucky last year. He still has a strong walk rate and a low strikeout percentage of just 17.4%. If he's batting toward the bottom of this Mets lineup where I imagine he will be positioned, I think he can still help this Mets team a lot in 2026. But what's really interesting and exciting here for the Mets is the possibilities they now have after moving Brandon Nimmo. The Mets now have openings at left field, center field, first base, and DH. Suddenly, the Mets make a lot more sense for top free agent Kyle Tucker, and make even more sense than they previously did for the big free agents like Kyle Schwarber and Cody Bellinger as well. The Mets had possibly the most disappointing season in their franchise history after missing the playoffs with World Series expectations. I think we knew big changes were coming, but this signals even more drastic changes than I initially expected. Overall, I think it's a pretty good baseball trade for both teams. The Rangers get a nice boost to their lineup while addressing a clear need for outfield production, while the Mets get a plus defensive second baseman who has leadership qualities for a team in desperate need of an overhaul both on the field and in the clubhouse. To me, this feels like a definitive move for the Rangers, while a small domino in several moves for the New York Mets. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.